Good evening. My name is Chaim Yitzchak Michael Halevi Kopel Harry Gersh Zeitz, minus a few that aren't legal anymore. Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome to my neighborhood. So, I was hoping to make it official with you guys. HDIF, Horizons as Dimensional Interface Framework, is now live. So, several goals will be unfolding hereforth. That is, lectures, micro lectures at Barnes & Noble. I'm in cahoots with the manager. Number 2, public speeches at the Tamarack Community Center. I am in the works of being in cahoots with the event coordinator. I have her contact information to give her a call during business hours, which would be starting tomorrow. And then the other thing is I'm in cahoots with a journal, a science journal, specifically for theoretical physics. And they are asking me several questions to make sure that I agree to certain terms before they start the review. To find holes in my theory. However, being that it's open access, I guess not all, but some journals would expect you to pay, specifically because they assume you are part of an institution. I'm not part of an institution. So they, there's that fee, but I'm about to become homeless in the next, less than a month. So for me, I don't really have the money to pay for $1,350 to $1,350, if they accept it, and that's if they accept my work as valid. Like, hey, we couldn't find any holes in your theory, so now that we couldn't find any holes, we would like to publish. Do you agree to the cost of the open access, meaning anyone can read it? You don't have to pay for it, you could just read it, which is what I want. I need that in order to find investors. But it's been very difficult. But my point is, I'm on the precipice of something. So Albert Einstein, famously argued, God does not play dice. And Niels Bohr said, no, God does play dice. What I'm saying is, God does play dice, but he's cheating. He has his fingerprints all over that shit. How do I know this? Because I have a falsifiable theory called Horizons as Dimensional Interface Theory, or framework. Right now it's framework. So HDIF. Plus HDIF sounds kind of cooler than HDIT. Like, comment below if you think HDiff sounds cooler than HDit. I had another name for when I was mixing title names up, and I had one. It was like a really funny and hard name to say, but anyways, I just stuck with HDiff. It sounds mathematical, like it could be like the next, thing that kids learn in school. Like, hey, here's a new type of science and math. So, they're learning a whole new set of math skills to be able to build the future. And yeah, because if this is validated as a theory, an explanation, our greatest explanation, because let's face it, right now, string theory, it's out the door, almost, kind of. Not really, it's still useful in its own shape and form, in its own way. But it requires extra dimensions. Like, how do you measure that? That's outside of the realm of of the boundaries that we're able to measure. So, it's conjectural. You're making conjectures, and it's great. It's helped to produce a lot of other sciences and a lot of technology, maybe even. But in the end of the day, it can't be proven. It's unfalsifiable, if you will, because again, how do you measure dimensions outside of the 3 plus 1 that we know? 3 spatial, 1 time, right? So, with that said, I'm not trying to replace general relativity or quantum field theory. No, fuck that shit. I'm trying to unify them. And I have a rigorously built mathematical paper that, by the way, you can find on my website. It's Chaim, CHAIMZ. I'm going to attach the link, but essentially you could find it on, if you go to Internet Archive, and you type in HDiff or Horizons as Dimensional Interface Theory, you'll see my 54 page paper. And it has the predictions, it shows all the math, all the reasoning, everything. And what it says is, what if it's not just present stress energy? Meaning, what Einstein would say, he would say that space-time is continuously smooth, or smoothly continuous. Yeah, anyways, yeah. And it's determined. But quantum field theory says, no, it isn't. It's discrete. And how do you reconcile smooth, continuous space-time versus quantifiable or quantized or discrete or at first hand it seems like there's a contradiction where the flat gaps are between the cells, whatever you want to call it, separation. That's the difference between quantum field theory and general relativity, is the fact that quantum field theory says it's not continuous. It's broken into separate things, it's broken into pieces. So, it deals in the realm of probabilities, whereas with general relativity, it deals in a deterministic setting. So, to reconcile this, Chaim Yitzchak Mechayo Levi Kopel Harry Gersites, minus a few that aren't legal anymore, say that you're both right. You're both right. But the connection, so the connecting factor is when you is interfaces, dimensional interfaces, and let me explain. So, if you can just close your eyes for a minute, I got to keep my eyes open because otherwise I'll get hit by a car. Just close your, oh, that's a beautiful sunset. Do you see that sunset? But let me, before I continue, I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's beautiful. I'm going to focus on that, but you guys close your eyes and then we'll view this. Okay, so here we go. Imagine you're in a suit with enough oxygen and far enough away from a black hole where the gravity is not strong enough to pull you in. You could observe it from a specific distance that was calculated for your safety, right? And imagine looking at this, what seems like a very empty or black void, or like a void of a space almost. Now you can't see, from where you are, you're not going to see the actual object creating the black hole. You're just going to see really a warping of the fabric of space-time. Now, this black hole is governed not just by geometry, but a set of complex structure structures essentially, or forces. There we go. That's the right word. Thank you. Forces. All of these forces are in perfect cahoot with each other. All right. Now, within this, now, if you look at the black hole, the only reason why you see the black hole, now this is key, what I'm trying to get at here with you friends. The only reason why you see the black hole is because of all the light that's outside of it. There's reference to be able to know that there's a void, right? You only see it because of the surrounding light that's being sucked in by it. Not even light can escape it. So you're seeing like this, you're seeing like this boundary, and that boundary is the reason why you see the void. And this boundary, called the horizon, stores information. And this information is structured in discrete, you can call them islands essentially, but they're encoded with different discrete cellular information. So depending on the radial movement on the trig grid that you have to imagine drawing, when you move in that direction, the radial direction on the trig grid, you will encounter different, that this isn't just a present thing that's going on, but has a that also determines its present state, called memory kernels. Memory kernels are detectable, and it's in this very idea in which my theory will either be proven false or proven true, or proven true. Well, at least until some better explanation comes along than mine. That's the way it works. Like after 10,000 times you get the same results, when do you start saying, oh, there we are. I don't know why we keep getting disconnected. Oh, there we are. I don't know why we keep getting disconnected. I see a lot of comments here, Grandpa. What are you doing in the streets? I know, right? Jesus, I just put like limits on me and like what I could do and not do. You can't drive, old man. You're gonna crash, right? You can't do that. Oh man, I am getting old. Anyways, I was getting. Oh yeah. I'm so sorry. Me. All right. So back to the black holes. So it's the boundary itself that gives meaning, that gives definition to a thing. You have to have nothing and something, right? So that there's like, it's like almost, you can consider it almost to some degree, yeah, like a binary language, almost like 0 and 1, right? So space would be considered, once you take away all the air particles and whatever other particles, right? You just have the void. You have nothing. What is nothing? We have the ideas, but essentially, once you strip away all the cell, it used to be called ether, but that was proven to be an incorrect thing. It's not a substance. It's better to be considered nothing. No thing. It's a thing, it's just nothing. It's no thing. So we treat it as like 0, the baseline, right? And this baseline, I call lambda 0 because lambda 0 can have different values depending on the state of said universe. And basically, my theory says that not only is there a memory term, but there's a baseline offset, meaning this actually answers and solves the cosmological constant problem and dark matter and dark energy. Yeah, thank you. I don't know why I said that. I'm trying to be. I don't think it was that funny. Now that, in retrospect, it wasn't that funny. Anyways, wow, I keep losing my train of thought here. All right, so here we are. So, I know I said retrospect. I know I was talking about in retrospect. In retro. Okay, so, baseline. Baseline. So, my theory says that each state has a baseline with that's based off of a history of previous states, right? So it's not necessarily, it's just that this is the baseline this present is at. So think of it like you do have the present that we're witnessing right now. You're witnessing me live on YouTube. Oh, that's beautiful. Mounds, so people can golf on and whatnot. Anyways, did it again. Anyways, hold on, there we go, okay. So, each state of the universe, when that phase of it ends, it doesn't necessarily end. It's just first never actually dies from. It just starts. It just basically. There's like a kernel left over, a remnant, kind of like a black hole remnant, but for the universe, and that. Because there's a minimal step that is where the universe ends, but it's still there. It's not like, it goes to nowhere. No, there's still something. And then the next phase, that basically that remnant holds the entire story of the universe beforehand, of the previous universe. So it holds the story, all of the details about what I'm doing right now, about what you're has basically is has basically is when ours ends and it becomes that remnant, when the next universe starts, that remnant is the baseline. That's like it's not zero, obviously, but it's still something, not nothing. It's something. So it can be quantized. Anyways, and so that's used as the baseline. That remnant, which has it's quantized. It has information, all of the information about the previous state of the universe. And that previous state of the universe that's now in a remnant is used as the baseline for the next universe. So you have like a memory kernel that's from the previous universe that's developing the next universe. And that baseline, as I said, is called lambda 0. And that is like, you can think of it like the backbone of space-time, essentially. And again, it answers the cosmological constant problem, dark matter, dark energy, and even the end state of the universe, the final state of the universe. It answers that too. Before we thought once it's over, it ends. Nope, doesn't end. It just becomes something different. It uses the memory of the previous state to create the next state. So my theory predicts all of this. Now it just needs to be tested. And then, hopefully, in the next 50 years, I can build the time-ripping engine. Yeah, you heard that right. I'll have a time-ripping engine. Hopefully in my lifetime. Hopefully I'll be alive 50 years. I'm almost 40, so hopefully if I eat healthy and I exercise. Hi, how are you? Hopefully, I'm alive long enough to see my own creation come alive. A time-ripping engine. And basically, it would have multiple functions. It wouldn't just be a new source of energy, kind of think of it like a faucet for energy, because of baby universes, being used as like dial knobs. So we'll, in 50 years, hopefully, we'll be using baby universes as dial knobs to do different things in our universe, such as accumulating energy, generating energy. It could be used for quantum computing on such a high level. Whoo! And it could also be used for space-time engineering, aka time ripping. But this is the thing. We would have to have a discussion on how we use this time rip engine, because we can't go back in time and affect shit. No, then that's like kind of like that movie or that book also, the Time Traveler, where he created his own paradox. Now I've broken plenty of paradoxes in my past, but the one he created, there was no way out unless he did the one thing that he didn't want to do, right? Which is accept the fact that his wife died, right? Because he only built the time machine because his wife died. If his wife didn't die, he would never even thought of building the time machine. So the fact that he only built it because his or fiance, I should say, died, is the only the madness of losing her had built that time machine, and now it is tied to her death. And so every time he tries to, basically, if he stops the death in the past, there is no time machine, right? So he can't go back in time and change anything unless he allows her to die. And that's the sad, unfortunate reality of time traveling. That's why we would only go back to be able to learn things so we can build things or find things in the future. Maybe we want to play Tetris on Game Boy, but we don't really know how it was built. So we go back, maybe we learn how to build it, or maybe, the state of the universe is different in such a way where we might not have all the necessary elements. I don't know. I'm just theorizing, or just, speculating here. Or anyways, my point being that, wow, I was getting at somewhere with this. Wow, I was there. I had like this wave crash over me. Okay. Comment below if you remember. Man, I shouldn't be getting high before these things, should I? Probably a good idea not to. Yeah, because I'm pretty high. Some good weed. Yeah. Anyways, my point being, I did a good job so far. Would you say not? I wrote an entire paper on marijuana, so please. All right. I can get back on track here. All right. We all lose our train of thought. I just gotta find my thought now. Can you help me find my thought? Can you help me find my thoughts? All right. Let me read a little comments. Maybe it'll come up if I just distract myself with something else here for a second. I'm gonna pull that shit into ChatGPT and tell me what's up. Okay. Baruch Burnham. Do you like burnt ham, Baruch? I sure don't. I mean, I'm not kosher anymore, but I don't like ham because ham just kind of is gross. But I like bacon. I don't eat bacon that often, though, like once in a blue moon. I was super de-duper religious, guys. Now, I want to keep this channel scientific, so I'm not going to get personal here. But what I will say is, I love you, you love me. I forgot my thoughts on camera. Please help me. All right. I'm sure it was towards the end, because I was approaching the final state of what I had to say here. So, let's see. Someone maybe might have put some... bro is on a... Holy shit! Bro is on a calculator. Puppy Rants. Hi, Puppy Rants. I don't know really what any of that means. I'm going to be honest with you. But, hi. Nice to meet you. My name is Chaim Yitzchak Michael Halevi Kopel Harry Gershites, minus a few that aren't legal anymore. Anyways. Okay. My thoughts. Final thoughts. Let's just get... You know what? Let's just turn this into the final thoughts section, okay? I don't have to beat myself up every time, I lose a thought. Maybe I'll find it and maybe I'll announce it to you guys next time. I don't know. If I feel cute enough. Anyways. Final thoughts. Space-time is not just based on present stress energy, but an accumulative past that weighs down on it. And it can be proven through a lag in curvature. So the question is, does gravity have memory? So I'm hoping someone can test that out for me. You can do it right now. We have the instruments to do it right now with interferometers. Just gotta find someone who has money and to test it, because I don't have the money. I'm about to become homeless. But if you know someone who can test it for me, who has or knows people who can test it, please help a brother out. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, okay. So my website, Chaim, Chaim, as in motor, Z as in zebra. Believe it's .wix, W as in Wally, I as in igloo, X as in X-ray, site, S as in Sam, I, T as in Tom, E, .com / H is in Harry, D is in dog, I is in igloo, F as in fuck! Hyphen, Nexus, N as in Nancy, E, X as in X-ray, U, S as in Sam. And take a look at it. If you're interested, awesome. I hope you are able to get something from it, learn a little bit, maybe even contribute if you have something valid to contribute. I'm all ears if it's reasonable. It can't be, outside of the measurable physical world. It has to be something that I can measure. I'm a scientist, okay? I'm not saying you can't do what you want, but when it comes to my work, it has to be dealt within things that I can strictly measure, quantify, right? That's what I deal with. So if you have something to contribute, you are more than welcome to contribute in a meaningful way. Maybe you prove something of what I wrote wrong. Maybe one of my calculations is so fucked up. It's like, dude, this is fucked up and this is why it's fucked up and wrong. Please, I need that. You don't know how much I need that. If you're out there, just look at it. Is it wrong? If it's wrong, please show me. I need that. That will help me to better my theory, or just throw it out if need be. If it's proven completely false and that was shit, right? The least you can do is find, if you're not someone and you know someone, great. And then later today, I'm gonna try to put up my GoFundMe page. So if you can, I'm not saying I don't want a pity story here, but if you're able to help me continue to do my science, because right now, I am on the verge of homelessness. So to be able to continue my science, if you can, if you can't, no worries. I'm not forcing you. I don't want a pity story here, but I would like to help shape our future into something that I think is great for everybody. I think that we can all benefit working together on this project. Building each other up, working together. So with that said, if you can contribute, whether it be through proving my theory wrong or saying you have an equation that's just, it's not calculated correctly or formulated correctly, whatever, please point it out. Or if you have the funds to, please help contribute. And like I said, later tonight, I probably should have added it a while ago, but I'll add it now. The GoFundMe page, there will be a link on it. It'll be somewhere at the bottom. I don't want to make that the thing that people focus on. So it'll be at the very, very bottom. If you can, great. If not, no worries. At the least, prove me wrong. Please, I need that. This has been Chaim Yitzchak Machoyel Halevi Kopel Harry Gersh sites, minus a few that aren't legal anymore. Peace out.